All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today we have a really fun experiment. I like trying different things and eating different foods. I grew up with a lot of friends from around the world, and it was always a cool thing to me. So when I found out about this thing called the Miracle Berry, or the Mberry as some people call it, I actually was really excited to try this. And I heard about it years ago, but finally had an opportunity to pick it up in tablet form. So they make I guess we'll call it just, I don't even know, I guess it's just a tablet called Mberry. You can pick these up on Amazon. I believe I paid like 15-ish dollars, maybe 16 bucks. Got it the next day. Wasn't a problem. But what this does is if you eat the tablet or the fruit, it kind of flip-flops your taste buds. So supposedly everything is shifted. So salty tastes like sweet, and sweet tastes like sour, and sour tastes like bitter, and like everything's just really, really different. So this should be a lot of fun. I mean, I did have that sugar break incident on the last video. I'm sure if you saw that, you probably laughed at me. That was terrible. I don't want to do that again. So I'm hoping this at least has an interesting, fun effect more than a painful, gross effect. All right, so first things first, for the sake of science, I wanted to make sure we had a variety of things that we could try, right? Because I wanted to know all the differences. So as you can see there on the plate, I set aside a pastry. I have two different fruits because I wanted to see if citrus had more of an effect or not with the berries. So we have an orange and an apple. I also got a piece of beef jerky. We have a Tootsie Roll and a couple of tortilla chips because I wanted to see if something that's a little more bland changes as well. But I want to make sure we had a spread of stuff to work with so we at least get to see how the whole spectrum of flavor changes. Additionally, to prepare, had to do a couple of things. One, I went in and made sure I brushed my teeth, got any junk off there. I used a tongue scraper, so I wanted to make sure everything was clean. And I did not use toothpaste because I didn't want that like menthol-y flavor or mint flavor kind of clouding anything. I wanted as clean a taste as we're going to be able to have. I also, next to me, have some Rogue Energy, an energy drink I drink that I can taste test as well, so we can see if it works with flavored water. I also have plain water, which I'm hoping doesn't taste gross in my Dallas Cowboys mug, but I'm hoping this doesn't taste gross because I'm going to use that to try to swish in my mouth, clear my palate a little bit between each one, but I don't know if that's going to change the overall feel of the tablet. Speaking of which, I also had to look up how long the tablet lasts because it doesn't say that on the package. This says it's anywhere between, I believe, 15 minutes and 2 hours. So I could be stuck with this for the next couple hours. I don't know. They say it's really an individual thing, and it depends on your sweet receptors and all that stuff. So, we'll see what happens. So, first things first, let's take this tablet. All right, so when you open it up, it comes with, let's see, what does it got here? Flavor tripping, it says. Oh, so it's just being cute about, let's see, believe in miracles, share your lemon smile, some things you can do on socials or whatever. Oh, okay, here's a neat thing. I'm going to see if I can get a better picture of this. I'll try to share it on the edit, but this has pairing suggestions. So if you're curious, you can try lemon lime and oranges and tomatoes, but then if you want to be adventurous, you can try rhubarb, mustard, ketchup. So we're kind of doing that anyway. We have a big variety of stuff we're going to be trying, so this should be okay. Looks like they protect these very well. I'm assuming this has a lot to do with keeping any moisture out or anything else. But yeah, this just looks like medication, honestly, like you would pick up, I don't know, anything for your headache or whatever, just regular tablets. But it came with 10 in the package, so we're going to pop one of these out of here. And it says, according to the box, because the only instructions are literally one line that says, place one Mberry tablet on your tongue and dissolve completely. So we're going to use the magic of time lapse, and we're going to come back after I'm done dissolving this. Here we go. Actually, before we skip away, I do want to say that it's actually an interesting tasting tablet. It's almost starting out tart with a little hint of bitterness. And the weird part is, I don't know if that's because how it tastes or how my tongue's already reacting to it. So this is going to be an interesting experiment.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back. It's all resolved. I will say this. It took probably about 4 to 5 minutes. I did roll it around a little on my tongue. I tried not to bite it to make sure it just completely dissolved. So I wanted that to be as clean as the instructions said. The interesting thing too is while it dissolved, the flavor profile felt like it changed a bit. Now it might just be placebo type thing, right? Because I know what it is and what's going on. But it totally tasted like it was changing things that went along. So this is going to be very weird. So I'm going to start with what probably has I'm guessing, the most impact. And I'm going to go with the orange. And one of the reasons, too, is I feel like this will clear out of my palate faster than if I ate something like the pastry. I want to eat that last because I feel like the bits are going to hang around in my teeth a little bit. But, whew, here's hoping. I don't know how good or bad this is going to be. So let's see what happens. All right. Oh, that's so weird. It's not even like... It's not sour at all. It actually tastes like candy. This is weird. Oh my god, this makes the orange taste so... Like, I don't hate oranges anyway, but there's no tartness. Not at all. Like, normally, like, if you take a big bite of an orange, you can taste, like, when the little... I don't know what you call them. The little things, like, burst and you get all the juice in your mouth or whatever. Like, that's not it at all. This is weird. This is so cool. I feel like a little kid right now. This is awesome. Like, it truly made the orange taste like candy. Now, that being said, your taste buds might react differently to this. So there's a chance, from what I understand, that you could eat the orange and it could taste, I don't know, maybe salty or whatever. But that's actually really, really cool. All right, so I'm going to drink some water here. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't wash away the berry too much. And we're going to take a bite out of the apple. I'm hoping this isn't a disaster because the orange was awesome. That one's not as drastic. It's a little bit sweeter, with a very light hint of saltiness, but it still tastes, at least for me, very much still like an apple. So that wasn't as drastic. It wasn't as drastic as the orange truly had a different flavor. Like this, it tastes different, but still tastes like it tastes like it could be a different variety of apple. Whereas like the orange didn't taste like an orange at all. Like it tasted like something completely different. Okay, so let's go ahead, since this is one of the few things I have that's actually on the saltier side. This is a little beef stick. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite and see what this tastes like. Oh, this is strange. Because, like, on the front of my tongue, it tastes a little bland. Like, and I know what these taste like. So they're meaty, salty, you know. It feels like it changed that pretty much. But on the back end, it was actually a little bit bitter. Not a lot, but a little bit. Which is different because that never happens from eating them before. Which is kind of peculiar. Pretty cool, though. Not what I would have expected. I think next we're going to try one of the tortilla chips. Okay, so these are interesting because this is a variety of tortilla chip that has a little bit of a, I think it's like dusted with like salt and a little bit of like mushroom flavor or something for that little umami taste. So we'll see if that makes a difference or not here. Oh, that's so weird. I can like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I can still taste that it's a tortilla chip, but the coating, the seasoning is sweet. Like it's like a sweet tortilla chip, if that makes sense. This is such a weird like headspace to be in, where you're eating food that doesn't taste like what you know it's supposed to taste like. So it's kind of hard to convey like how different some of the stuff tastes. I'm trying to give you like a clear description of like what's going on in like what part of my mouth, and like, because this is not a normal eating experience at all. It's kind of cool though. Man, this is neat. Okay, what I want to do now, though, I think I want to test if the berry is losing effect or been washed away. So I'm going to take another bite of the orange since that had the most drastic change. And then I think I'll be able to tell if I need to have another tablet or not. All right, so let's take another bite of the orange here and see if it's the same as it was before. Yep, okay. Y'all, I don't know how to describe this to you. This is like a sweet lemonade Kool-Aid coming from an orange. Like this was so like the others I can tell the effect, but for some reason, at least my effect on me with this citrus, it is way different. Like this tastes like this normally tastes. Like seriously, like this is more of like a fruity lemonade whatever sort of flavor. This is what this tastes like right now. Right? Like I don't it's such a which makes me worried because now I want to drink some of this. Actually, let's just do it. Let's just see. Now I'm all in on this experiment. Oh. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but definitely there's a hint of like bitterness, saltiness, not heavy, but enough that I can tell is not normal. Like if I, okay, the best way I could describe it is, had I not taken the tablet and I were to have drank this, I would have thought something happened to it, right? Because while it still tastes like it's what it is, there's like hints of like I said, that little bitterness, little salty. It's like maybe it's been sitting out a little bit or something. Not enough that it's rancid, but enough that like I'd be like, oh, I must have left this sitting on the counter or something. You know what I mean? Like you can tell there's a difference. So this is a really cool experiment. This is way more fun than that sugar break thing. Let me tell you. Okay, so the last two items I have, we're gonna open up this Tootsie Roll because we all know what chocolate tastes like. Most Americans know what Tootsie Rolls taste like. I don't know if y'all have. Let me know in the comments if y'all get Tootsie Rolls outside the U.S. I'm assuming maybe we ship these to Canada or something in Mexico, but I don't know about elsewhere. All right, I'm gonna have a small piece because this is kind of chewy, so it'll hang around a bit. Oh boy, let's see what this does. I would say this is the first one. It's virtually no effect. If anything, now don't get me wrong, Tootsie Rolls are not the most chocolatey of chocolate things we can have. It just happened to be a thing we had around. But I will say that it was probably the least flavorful from what I know the flavor to be. So in a lot of cases where it changed the flavor profile, like we said with the orange entirely, this more just like turned it off. So like chocolate just didn't have much of a flavor. It wasn't bad, it was just a very muted flavor from what it was previously. So really, that just leaves us with the pastry. And we'll see. Now I'm going to try to get a bite. So you can see this is like a, oh man, I have a bright light. There you go. It's a jelly-filled pastry here. So I'm going to try to get a bite that has bread and jelly in it. And it's got a little bit of sugar drizzle to make sure I get like the most to see if it'll change the flavor of this. Interesting. That tasted still very much like a pastry, but more on the tart side. And I know that filling is not tart, which is what makes it a little bit weird. And some of my reaction, you're probably seeing me, isn't that these taste bad. It's like in my head and mentally, I'm trying to like process what I'm eating because I know it tastes different than that. But this still, like I said, tastes very much like a pastry. But in this case, I had more tartness to it. Yeah, it's the only way I would describe it. It's not, it doesn't go quite as far to being sour, but definitely it kind of pushed up the flavor of whatever that fruit was supposed to be in the middle. And kind of pushed it to the nth degree a little bit. The breading and everything still tasted most of this the same. So that didn't really change much. And I think that's why it still tastes like a pastry to me. It's possible that the Mberry tablets don't affect breading that much. Because now that I'm realizing it, it also didn't change the taste really of the tortilla chip, right? And that's also derived from well, I guess not really. Tortillas are corn, so not really wheat. So that wouldn't really work. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, like those two products are the ones that change probably the least. But the things on them, in this case, the pastry with the filling and then the tortilla chip with the seasoning, definitely had their flavor profiles change. So really interesting. I'm going to take another bite of the apple too, because I want to see how much this changed from what I know it to taste like. Okay, now that my taste buds are woken up a little bit, this has, again, and when I say salty, I'm not saying it's like somebody just dropped a whole bottle of salt on you, but like it's definitely more pronounced than the last time I took a bite of it. Like I could taste more of that saltiness. Like somebody had just sprinkled some salt across the top of it or whatever before I ate it. Like that is something that's definitely different. But so far I would say the oranges were probably the biggest change. Like that drastically was different. The meat, I've seen other people try these and it was drastic for them. So for me, the meat didn't change all that much. It had a little bit of a little different bitter sort of flavor, but not much. The pastry and the tortilla chip, virtually no change in taste, but the things that were on them had an amplified taste, which was pretty interesting. The Tootsie Roll basically became bland, which is weird. So I don't know if that's intentional or that's a me thing or whatever. And then, like I said, the apple was actually a bit saltier. And then this actually also changed to a bit of like slightly salty, slightly bitter. And I'm going to see if that changes now that I've had the apple probably still lingering on my tongue a little bit. Yeah, there's definitely a flavor difference here. Like this is, yeah, where this definitely has that like salty, bitter, whatever thing to it that doesn't normally exist in this drink. So yeah, this was fun. This makes me want to try this with different foods, like different potato chips. Like, do like the seasonings make a difference? Like, if I had a sour cream and onion versus like a barbecue potato chip, what would that taste like? Right? Like, there's some different things there. Surprisingly, I will say, the water did not taste different. Yeah, not at all. And that was a good thing because I was concerned on like, okay, if this tastes bad, how do I rinse my mouth out or brush my teeth afterwards or whatever? Because that's going to be gross, right? But no, it turns out, I guess because water really doesn't have much of a flavor profile with nothing in it, and it just tastes like nothing. So that's fine. But yeah, I would say if you want to have a fun time, just a simple experiment, grab some cheeses, some meats, a couple of fruits or whatever, and sit around with your friends or family, get some of these Mberry tablets and give it a go. This was actually a fun eating experience because, like I said, the mental part of I know what this tastes like, but then you eat it and it like this, like y'all, this makes me want to eat these tablets before having an orange forever now. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's literally like candy in an orange. It's the most unreal. Even on the back of my tongue, I can still taste it. Like it's the most unreal thing. Like weird that this exists in nature and we found a way to put it in tablets. But hey, y'all give it a go. Let me know what you think about this video or in the comments. Let me know, hey, do you want more of this type of stuff? Was this interesting to you? Have you heard of Mberries before? And if you like today's video and you want to see some other weird food experiments, I did reference the sugar break thing. Check that out if you want to see me be miserable, because you'll understand totally why you shouldn't do the sugar break thing and you should do the Mberries. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.